there's so many people that help pull this meeting together, and I just really want to thank all the board members that do the stuff they do. There's just a lot of people working in the background, and in particular, my girlfriend Aga, who is so often helping set up the room and help me roll papers out and kicking me out of the shower in time that I get here. Thanks for always helping so much. And I also want to note especially that Danielle, Torres, and Marie had a lot of work this week. There are some items we're going to share with you on the agenda that have to do with some financing things and back and forth with neighborhood empowerment, some grants and things like that. And unless you guys have done this process, you have no idea. Department of Neighborhood Empowerment people know because they're overworked and underfunded, kind of like we are, except for forget the funded part. We're just not funded at all. We're just overworked. And so I just want to thank the people that did so much work, and the same to the executive committee. We had a really productive meeting yesterday. And I want board members to know, I want members of the public to know that when we have a meeting go out of order like it happened the last time, it's very hard for everyone. And our board executive committee has been working really hard to review all forms of ways that we can make our meetings better and more effective, working with neighborhood empowerment, doing research, looking at ordinance, looking at all sorts of things. And so I really appreciate all the work that those people have done this last couple of weeks. And the other thing I just want to mention, because it feels like we're making headway, is as Adam Bass mentioned, we had a very firm and strong, I'll talk about it later, the land use meeting, and the board is very firm on wanting to move forward with these, entering the process of these changing the zoning conditions. And those, after our efforts, went out of the Planning and Land Use Management Committee of the city, went to the full council on Tuesday this last week, and there's a motion to direct planning department to move forward with that. And so for me personally and for a lot of people on the board, that's been some of the key issues in our local community. And though there's a long process to go to public hearings, all kinds of things like that, we'll talk about it more later. I just, as somebody trying to lead forward our group effort, I was really happy to see that happen. It's the first steps towards really getting there. There's a lot of work to go, but it was a really big thing for all of us, and I just wanted to mention it. So with that, and as part of the kind of process, in particular, Andy's been working on this really hard, of trying to work in a way that our public meetings are both more accessible, but also equitable in the sense of the rules being applied very clearly and everybody understanding how they can interact with it. We asked Lisette from Department of Neighborhood Empowerment to join us today, and so she's here, and we've agendized some time for her to make a few comments. And then just leading forward, Andy Chung, our secretary, did a lot of work on establishing a little bit more structure to our meeting rules. He'll follow Lisette, and they may also work together a little bit on those agenda. So I'll turn it over to Lisette.
Wait, we're skipping number 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Daniel. My apologies. Thank you, guys. Important correction made. Yeah.
So this is just an announcement. So at the last meeting, we had a vote where a good amount of the board actually abstained. We incorrectly interpreted the results of that vote based on not having the best reading of the bylaws, which in the bylaws it clearly states all votes count except abstentions. So according to the bylaws, the vote did pass, and so it was basically a reaffirmation of the Q conditions that we want changed. You know, everyone here has great concerns about the affordability and livability of this neighborhood, so that essentially was reaffirming to Mitch O'Farrell's office that that's what we wanted to move forward on, was changes to Q conditions to address those concerns, and the vote did pass. Just to clarify to everybody, it's in the meeting minutes, which will get approved now next month, but that's essentially what I'm hearing now, is that the vote passed.
What was the count?
It was, I believe, 4-2.
608, right?
6-0. So everyone that voted for it, everyone that abstained was excluded from the final tally.
So Yeah, whenever we have abstentions, those do not count at all in the tally. So as long as we have a quorum, in fact, strangely enough, you could have a vote of 3-0 to, no, yeah, you could still,
Right,
as long as you have a
if
majority of those who voted.
Saying 1-0, that one vote carries.
Yeah. So, caution with the meaning of your abstentions as
Yes.
well, board members.
Don't see.
So with that, I'll turn it over to Lisette. The way we're gonna do this